What is the haps, Panther fans, C3 Fantasy Football Ballers? Tonight is Selection Saturday. We have
Dun,
been
dun,
prep.
dun.
Yeah. Are you ready for some football? Well, I guess one thing is the
The
Carolina
Panthers weren't
Panthers.
last night.
No, they were not at all. So tonight we got a much anticipated event, probably more so by the staff here at C3, if you could call us that, and that just like this has been a big endeavor.
We're not the staff,
So,
we're the stiffs.
yeah. So we're gonna pick the draft. We have the lottery at 7:30, where we're going to announce the draft order for all players in the four leagues of the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge. Before then, and then also we're going to have the raffle for the DeAngelo Williams mini helmet. Joey, so if you don't have that at some point during the show, go get it so we can hold it up when we
I
raffle.
actually meant to grab it before coming in here, but you
And
can see how well that worked.
Yeah, well, so that's an excellent time to introduce the crew, the often forgetful but never forgettable Joey Riolano and Ken Dye. How you guys doing tonight?
What's up, Panther Nation?
What's up, guys?
I'm a little on the tired side. I was something of an idiot today and decided to cut the grass at the hottest part of the day, so I got my workout in.
Yeah, you did. So it's only about 100 outside with about 180% humidity or something?
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah.
I'm tired because I watched that pathetic game last night, and then I was so tired of that I stayed up till 3 in the morning writing about it and making GIFs. We got some wonderful GIFs out of that. Thomas Davis slamming the ball down. Not slamming the ball down, slamming that dude. Luke Kuechly doing the body slam. So here, let's go ahead and say this. CarolinaCatChronicles.com, the #1 Panther fan-focused website out there. We might not be the biggest, but boy, we've got some momentum, and we've been rolling. We got a lot of things going on. I want to encourage everybody, hopefully if it's working, I think it should be, if you click the little button down, it's like a little yellow thing, and it says something like get in the conversation or something like that. You can look at the stories I've put up. I put a couple of stories about what's going on at C3. Joey, last night I stayed up. We watched the game. Not a lot of good stuff going on in that game. So I wrote a story, and it was the only positive in the Carolina Panthers preseason game. Could you even find a positive in that game, Joey?
The biggest positive for me personally was that the fact it's over. That was the biggest positive for me.
I can sympathize with that.
I read a lot about it today, and everybody seems to be of the opinion that the Patriots had an agenda, and they failed to share that agenda with the Panthers. That agenda was come out and play this like it's a regular season game. They were running, from what I read, they were running some pretty complicated passing routes. They were running some tricky defensive schemes, much more so than the vanilla offense and vanilla defense the Panthers were running. Now,
so let me jump in on there. And so was that like really super tricky when Vereen or Ridley just ran straight up the middle? Was that like a crazy trick play where they just ran 10 yards at a time, and then we had no pass rush, we didn't sack anybody, and we looked terrible on both sides of the ball pretty much? Was that true?
I don't think it was, they were not completely in mid-season mode, but a lot of their offense was much more than vanilla, where ours was strictly vanilla. And I know Ron Rivera said that he Did try to get some blitzes in there, I guess, to try to amp up the pressure, but even that didn't work. We know that the Patriots are a good team year in, year out. Barring injuries, they're always going to be in contention. We know Tom Brady is a surgeon. And if you give him time, he will pick you apart. And that's something we did a terrible job of last night, was generating any type of pass rush. And I think it just carried on throughout the whole game.
Well, if I might say something, I think you can flip that around and say, yeah, we threw some, a couple blitzes in maybe, but we did run the vanilla scheme.
Mm-hmm.
So and you're not going to trick Tom Brady. The best thing you can hope for is to trick one of the linemen or something. That's how to get to him. And with them playing their ones versus our twos, that made a difference. People, they see the final score and remember it was 30-7. That's a blowout. Well, they forget that up until 5 minutes left in the first half, it was only 3-0.
Right.
So we were fine when we had our ones in there. But I think what people need to realize is that every time that we turn our wide receiver core completely over from one year to the next, like we did from last year to this year, we're going to have growing pains in the offense. I mean, and especially with Cam coming off the ankle problems, that's even put us further behind in our development. So teams are going to be ahead of us offensively.
I call malarkey. I feel like Mike Mularkey must have been our head coach last night, and Mike Mularkey is the one that's making all of these excuses, because what I saw last night was not that we were okay when our number ones were in there and it was 3-0, because we had 0 points. I didn't see anything good last night other than one positive thing, and that was Kelvin Benjamin, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Star Latuile. I finally might have said his name close to correctly. They played like we expect them to play and need them to play. So the reason I say this is that I've listened and I've read quite a little bit, and I guess more on the comment section than I have on the coverage section, Joey, is I've heard everybody go, oh, it's preseason, it's preseason. The Patriots had an agenda. Well, what was our agenda? Was our agenda to go in there and not put up any points? Was our agenda to not capitalize on drives? Was it to let them march 99 yards or 93 yards down the
91.
field? 91. And so I understand this concept that it's preseason and that's not the product. But the Patriot product, their not the product preseason product, was a lot better than ours last night, Joey. How do you put that in that narrative that it's just okay?
I don't think it's okay. I for one, it's not okay, because it is preseason, yes. The games don't count, yes. But you are supposed to be progressing as a team. And it looked from week 2 to week 3 like we as a team regressed as opposed to progress.
It's the Patriots and the Bills. I mean, come on. So,
I think Kansas City and the Bills, yes.
Well, yeah, Kansas City.
Yeah, and that's true. They are two totally different teams, but nevertheless, we should have, if nothing else, we should have at least maintained the same level of play we had against the Chiefs, not improve on it. And I think part of the problem, I saw what the Panthers' agenda was last night from the get-go. It was they wanted to work on the passing game. Because I don't know where our running game was to start this game, and it really bothered me because I think our running game is so key to helping the passing game. And when you come out and you got Cam in the gun right away, it doesn't leave a whole lot of running plays as an option.
No, the first drive they threw 6 passes. All 6 were passes.
All 6 plays.
Yeah, so here, though, with this, Joey, I think you raise a good point. Is that, okay, everybody says you're supposed to run vanilla. You're supposed to just try to get out there without injury, and you're supposed to practice. Well, don't you always practice like it's a game? And if DeAngelo Williams is on the field it means there's a run up the middle. There's nothing else. There's nothing else but a run up the middle. Where is Tolbert? Why is he not practicing at all in this offense? Why are we not getting that feel in? I thought the offense was horrible last night. Kelvin Benjamin is the only standout. And Olsen, I know he was wide open and he catches everything. And I know Cam overthrew him. But could he have run any slower? Really? Why does he look like he's in the snow?
Well, he was open and he had the guy beat when he was wide open. So he didn't score, but he would have caught it and it would have been a nice game.
It would have been great, but I mean, I'm just saying I know Cam overthrew him, but he underran it at the same time.
No excuses.
I've never heard underran.
Our leading receiver underruns things. Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, is that like you've got to be faster than that?
Yeah, he had ankle weights on under his socks. Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah. He wears snowshoes every game. If Greg Olsen breaks a tackle one day, I'm gonna go crazy.
I know. 88 tattooed on your arm.
Yeah.
I think Madden's got him rated a -12 on the truck rating.
Yeah. Joey, why was the run game so bad?
Well, I think it goes to the offensive line.
Yep.
They were bad, period. They're bad pass blocking. Byron Bell, we've heard how good he's been doing in camp and practice and all that. He really got outmatched by Chandler Jones. Chandler Jones is a top-tier defensive end. He's somewhat unknown, but he's good. I mean, he's a speed rusher. He's not one of those guys that's going to run you over. He's a speed rusher, and he uses his speed and leverage real well. So I think we know where the weakness is in Byron Bell's game. It's pretty obvious. So he's got some things he needs to work on. I feel like, I don't want to put it all on the offensive line because I think there was a play or two where DeAngelo missed some holes. But yes, a lot of it does fall on the offensive line. They just played poorly. And I'm glad because I knew this would be a test. This Patriots front 4 or 3, 5, depending on what defense they're running, they're solid. With Vincent Wilfork in there, Jones, and then a couple of the other guys they have, they're a solid front. And I'm glad we got this test because, like I said earlier, it's clear we're not as good as we were against the Chiefs, but are we really as bad as we looked against the Patriots? It makes you ask and wonder.
I sure hope not. I've already added that team in, by the way. I want Kim to touch on this is about that offensive line and the injuries. And to temper, I guess, my nervousness, it's not that I think we're bad. It's just like I don't like any time when you play that poorly. I think that's why I'm upset. But touch on, Ken, why we may not have been as good as we are both on the offensive line and the defensive line as well.
Well, on the offensive line, we were missing the entire right side due to injuries. I'm not up on all the specifics, but Trey Turner and Nate Chandler, neither one of them even dressed for the game, so for the purposes of this discussion, they don't matter. Turner's a rookie, so if he's your starter and he's out, again, it's all goes back to how many reps do you get. It makes a difference. It's not an excuse. It makes a difference. If you don't get the repetitions in that you need, you can't always start like Cam Newton did his rookie year. He started largely the way he did because he was an unknown, as much as anything. And, people didn't know he had the talent to do what he could do. And then once they figured that out, he hadn't, had repeat performances like that. As far as the defensive line, as far as the offensive line, it takes time. They're the unit that takes time to gel. They have to play together, know what each other's going to be doing, know each other's assignments, so that you don't have, the missed blocks and that sort of thing. And that takes time to build.
Yeah, they have to develop a cohesion. That's a really good point, Ken.
Yeah, you need cohesion in that offensive line a lot more than you do in, say, your defensive line, just because you need to disrupt. But part of it's the offenses they run. Tom Brady isn't generally one to take long drops and stand there with the ball in his hand for very long. You know, we all know how he hates to get touched, let alone get hit.
Well, that wasn't a problem last night. He must have been the happiest guy on earth.
But what I'm saying is their offense is more of a West Coast style offense. You know, you go back three steps, bam, it's out. So if you don't, beat a lineman right off the bat, it's hard to get to the guy. And with his pocket presence, he knows, when someone's behind him, when he needs to throw the ball away, whatnot. Yeah, I mean, he's not Tom Brady for nothing. It's not like I like the guy, but you got to respect his ability.
Right, I agree with that 100%. You got to respect what he can do, and he did have all day. He sat back there and ate a sandwich before deciding to throw the ball to the receiver. Just to throw this number out there to you, which shocked the heck out of me, in less than a full game of football, Julian Edelman was able to make 8 catches for 99 yards.
Yeah, he was all over.
He had over 100 catches in last year. Yeah.
Right, but my point is, this was in less than a game of football, and at some point you got to be like, okay, it seems that Tom Brady's favorite guy is wearing number 11. Maybe we should cover him.
Well, that's because he figured out that Brandon LaFell was Brandon LaFell.
Did not Twitter blow up on that one?
Guys. And it was the one he dropped was a bad pass. It was like behind him a little bit. So somebody wrote that he had stone hands. I thought that was a little unfair, but he shouldn't have talked junk when he left. All right, when I wrote my story, Joey, last night, the only positive of the Panthers preseason game, I started out by saying that the first and second preseason games, Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs, were kind of like when you were in high school and the hot girl was nice to you in class. She smiled at you, you chit-chatted her up, and you got the courage to ask her for a phone number, right? So the third preseason game against the Patriots is when you call her, and she entertains your phone call. She's nice, but then she tells you she just wants to be friends.
Ow.
That is, I think this is a good thing. Obviously, it's a good thing. It's as good as it can be with it being terrible, because I think it's going to bring a little shock value to the team, where it says, all right, yes, you were missing key parts, but you could be missing key parts at all points during the season, right? We've seen Charles Johnson have a problem with injury a little bit throughout his career. Not bad, but, he gets nicked up a little bit. Greg Hardy is over there with an ice pack on his shoulder. And then you start seeing those twos. Ely looked so gassed last night.
Oh, he was awful.
He was trying the spin move. I was talking to text Chris McLean, Mac Attack, yeah, and he was talking about how Everett Brown one day on the show loved the spin move, and he heard Tony Ely at it. I sent him a text. I said, spin move sighting. He just tries to bull rush it, dude. That's it. Like, he's just got a speed rush, and if it doesn't work, he is done.
Well, he's got to learn the hand techniques that linemen in the NFL use. That's the thing. A lot of those rookies come in needing work on.
I guess my point. Yeah, I agree. I guess my point is this: is that when we have, there's a good chance Greg Hardy's going to miss some time because of his legal issues, or maybe some people say it might be put off to the next season.
Right.
But it's hard to believe that the front four is going to go unscathed the whole time, that the offensive line is going to have their starters, and they ain't even that great as they are. So is it going to be that bad if we have a couple of key injuries like that this season?
It can be, yeah. I mean, if we lose, we lose, say, Starr and
yeah, we're good if we lose him.
Khalil or Turner, one of those two guys, and that's bad news. But I think really Starr is the most valuable guy on the line because we do have two good pass rushers. You lose one, you still got one, and we've got some guys that are capable of doing it. From off the bench, Mario Addison, Frank Alexander, Ely if you'll lose the spin move. But we've got some depth there, is what I'm saying. But we don't have a run anchor like Starr. And last night showed how good the guy, a guy that size can be. I mean, he was there. They tried to block him a certain way. He just went right through before they could get to him. So that really impressed me as much as anything.
Joe, why was Cam Newton? Why can't he hit a deep ball anymore?
I don't know. I wish I could. Maybe the ankle's not where he wants it to be. He hasn't had a full off season to work with the receivers. I mean, there's lots of reasons that it could be, but really it's only him that knows the answer.
They underrun the routes, man.
They underrun the routes. That's another option.
Totally agreed. I second that. It's kind of like the underrunning the routes is kind of like being whelmed. You're either overwhelmed or underwhelmed, but you're never whelmed. Mm-hmm. So you always overrun a route, but you never underrun it, I guess. But they did. I think with Cam, he looks nervous out there. He doesn't look just relaxed. I feel like he's tense.
Right.
And is it just the idea that he just needs to be? I mean, he just needs time in game situation.
Yeah, I think he needs reps. I mean, Joey, what do you think? I mean, he's got a whole new set of receivers. He's got the only lineman that he has from last year that's playing the same place as Khalil because Silatolu was injured. The left guard, the right guard was in college, and the left tackle was the right tackle, and Nate Chandler used to be a defensive tackle. So he's on. Well, he's got Olsen and the backs and Khalil. So those are the only constants from last year. And, the ankle stuff and the bonding of the offensive line and the new crew coming in, a wide receiver to learn the system. All this stuff adds up. And what it does for me is it points to a slow start for us like last year, and we're going to have to play gangbusters from, October 1st on.
Well, that's our MO. That's our modus operandi.
Yeah, I feel it's going to be every bit as bad this year, just from what I've seen so far. So that scares me. That's all I'm trying to say.
Is that okay? Is at some point where does that come from? 3 seasons in a row that you start off slow, if that happens.
The personnel.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, why is it that other teams can come out and be completely ready? You know what I'm saying? It seems like early on. And it takes us to game 6 to figure it.
The system.
Maybe because we're a young team. We have a lot of youth on our team, and Ron Rivera he's still new to the whole head coaching thing. Maybe those 2 reasons have something to do with it.
No, I still think it has to do with turnover. And a lot of that can't be helped because of the salary cap issues that were left by, that guy named Marty Herney. So, with Gettleman turning over the entire wide receiver core, like I said, these new receivers come in, whether they're rookies or guys like Cotry, old veterans, they still have to learn a new scheme, have to learn, from a new offensive coordinators, and that's going to take time. And then, again, with the issues with Cam and his ankle and his limited reps, it takes time to build chemistry with your receivers. It's all part of football. And those things are particularly pronounced this year. And that's why I think that's what you saw last night is the Patriots went through that a lot last year when they had young receivers, that were new to that system, which is a particularly complex offensive system. But you started seeing some of them catch on second half of the season. Kimbrell Tompkins, Aaron Dobson, both those guys. Mentioned Edelman, they came along. So it's just a matter of familiarity with the system, and if you don't have time, then yeah, you're going to make mistakes. You're not going to be consistent. You're not going to be up on the same level as another team who's had most of their players, play under that system for a year or more.
Right, that's a very good point. I mean, it really is. The consistency. You get some acclimation when there's consistency. When it's constant turnover, you never get acclimated to somebody's speed or the fact that they underrun routes.
Right.
Right. It all goes into it. Exactly.
Right.
Okay, Joey, pick up the conversation right now because I got to go get the stuff for the draft real quick.
Okay. All right. So, what can we do to get better, Ken? Before you answer that, let me say this: the performance by the offense last night was so dismal that Ron Rivera has said the starters will play against Pittsburgh because they need the reps.
Yep. Well, that just goes back into what I've been saying pretty much this whole show is, we're behind where we were last year as far as progression through the system when you've got Cam having limited reps and you've got no receivers with any catches from last year. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
And it feeds back into itself when you've got receivers that don't know the system and they also don't know the quarterback. And the quarterback's sitting here saying, okay, well, I've got all these new people except Olsen. I'm counting on him, but it's going to take time for me to figure out, okay, what step do I throw at this guy? When's he going to turn? How many yards? How well does he run routes?
Right.
How consistently does he do it? How can I depend on him to be where it needs to be on a timing pattern? Is he going to underrun the pass?
And that's really the only way you can get that sort of stuff worked out is in game speed. And I think I guess that's why Ron is like, look, you guys, you got to play. We've got to have you in there, hoping that they'll be able to get some of that all worked out. So week 1, we're not in Tampa getting smoked, 24-3.
And the other problem that comes off of that is when you're having to use this preseason time to hone your starting offense or starting defense for that matter, then that's time away from these younger guys that you need to get looks at to see which 53 that you want to keep, the ones that are going to dress plus the practice squad. That's fewer reps that they get that you get to see them in game situations. So that hurts them. It hurts, it hurts depth that way. So, when you get behind, there is no catching up. And there's no easy answer to it.
Right. Why? My question though is, why then does everybody write off the preseason as these like glorified scrimmages when they're the only real time that you get to practice anywhere close to game speed? So shouldn't you be like real? Me and Joey, we went to training camp, and when they say practice, it's like the most. It's kind of a loose use of the term practice. It's like, all right, run this route. Now we're gonna see 56 more other guys, and you guys just go stand over there. It's not like they are just in there the whole time practicing the same route with the same receiver over and over. It's like, we got it. All right, next route, one time. We're going to practice one time before the season. So why then some people, are they so easy to take the preseason as just kind of no big deal? Is it because people that do well in the preseason often do poorly in the regular season and vice versa?
That could be part of it. I think the main reason is it doesn't count for anything. You know what I mean? They don't keep track of how many preseason wins you had, because come week 1 of the regular season, all that stuff goes away. Everybody's records reset. So there's no value in it other than playing at game speed, you know.
And evaluation.
And, I mean, there is the evaluation aspect, but yes, as a team, it doesn't. I mean, it benefits you, but it doesn't hurt you if you lose all your games. So I think people are like, it doesn't matter. That, you know, sort of the blasé sort of attitude toward it.
Well, I think the evaluation part comes back to what I was saying about individual players. Who are we going to keep for our 53-man roster? Out of these, who is going to be on the 45-man roster? Who's going to be on the practice squad? Are we going to keep that third quarterback? You know, all those questions that you want answered during the preseason, so that you can go into the regular season, hopefully, hitting on all cylinders, which I would be very surprised to see the Panthers do again this year.
Okay, well, with that, I'm going to go ahead and put in a couple of plugs, and Ken, I'm going to tell you something new I've been working on. First, everyone, check us out at CarolinaCatChronicles.com. You can check the C3 podcast every Tuesday night live at 10 o'clock, and if you can't make it on Tuesday nights at 10, you can check it right out on Wednesday morning, download it on iTunes, or catch it on Stitcher. It's a wonderful app to hit it on the go. You also want to follow us at cat_chronicles on Twitter, and Caroline at facebook.com/ or / whatever it is. I think it's / Carolina Cat Chronicles. We got a lot of cool stuff going on. We've had a lot of stories that have gone wild, but I have an exciting project that I've been cooking up in the background a little bit that I just opened up clandestinely yesterday. And that is the Countdown to Justin Hardy page. He is an ECU wide receiver that is a potential Heisman candidate this year. I know it sounds crazy, but we have a Heisman candidate potential quarterback as well, a lot of people are saying. So I want to put that out there. We're going to be following him throughout the season, so everybody check that out. Joe, welcome back. Nobody knew you were gone because I just did some plugs real quick, and it is about time. Joey went and got the helmet. Let's do that one last. All right? So, we're going to do... we are going to... This is what we've all been waiting for. A lot of people here, a lot of hard work has gone in to the Fantasy Football League. And now we are going to unleash the draft order. We've had a pretty good response. We are only missing a couple of teams that have not registered. So we've tried our best to hold as many mocks as possible. We've tried our best to keep contacting people without being, just onerous. And, we all get so many emails. So I think we've had a good response. I'm going to draft I'm going to pull first guys from the Mills League because they're the only one that has all 12. Okay? I think the other ones are like missing one short, and Mentor is the slacker group. So, are you guys ready? Obviously. Okay. For the number 1 draft pick in the fantasy football, the C3 Fantasy Football Challenge in the Mills League is going to be Catch Me If You Can. Number 1, come on up to the podium. Catch Me If You Can. All right. Number 2, in the draft order, and you guys can feel free to say something about their names too, all right, if it's any good, right?
Yeah, that's pretty clever, I think. Catch me.
Here we go. Number 2 pick, Mills League, Rusty Nails. Rusty Nails. Does anybody have any insight into what that one might be about?
Somebody obsessed with tetanus, apparently.
Okay. This is my favorite so far. The 3rd pick in the Mills draft, LaFell Drops a Lot.
Well, I think that's been proven time and time and time and time and time and time and time again.
That's Tom Brady's team. He's in our league.
Nice.
All right. What are we on? Number 4? Number 4 pick. Prolific. Ricky, well, just prolific. But it's for Ricky Prolific.
Prolific. Okay.
I like that one. I think that might be a name in 2 leagues.
Oh, I'm going to have me a cigarette. What the heck?
Yeah. This is
Jimmy the Green.
Here it is.
You got to take the points on that one, all right? Everybody knows now what we're talking about. It's just you can't say it on television.
Ken smokes a lot. That's the next team. No.
I remember Jimmy the Greek, though.
He doesn't smoke a lot. All right, number 5, Mills League, Miss Atomic Bomb.
Woo, she sounds hot.
Yeah.
That's a guy.
And dangerous.
Oh, Miss Atomic Bomb is a guy. Well, it is the 21st century and all that. So
6th pick goes to, this was my wife's favorite, Taste the Dwayne Bowe.
Oh, that's clever.
I like that one.
right.
You know who tasted the Dwayne Bowe was our boy Melvin White when he tried to lay him out, and Dwayne Bowe just put that gruesome shoulder. But I got to give Melvin White some credit on that. At least he went for the hard hit. All right, we're on number 7th pick. Mills League goes to Pink Panther 14.
Boom, boom.
Number 8, Carolina Rebels. Without a cause. The 9th pick goes to Cool Hand Luke's.
Gotta love that name.
Yeah, that's classic.
Who was that? Who was Cool Hand Luke?
It was Steve McQueen, wasn't he?
Steve McQueen?
Oh, Steve McQueen, that's right.
I just ripped it in half by accident, but number 10 goes to Keek Pounding, for like Keekly Pounding.
Right. Gotcha. That's pretty good.
That was a good attempt to add humor.
To a very serious Keep Pounding motto, right? Number 11, I know who this is. I'm pretty sure this is one of our very own.
Panther Drafter.
I think so. Camelot.
Yeah.
Number 11.
With the 11th pick.
I know, with the 11th pick.
Actually, he'll probably like that.
You can't say we didn't rig it.
For sure.
Or that we rigged it.
Mm-hmm.
This is a good one. And the 12th pick has one of the better names. Keekin' It Old School.
Keeking it old school?
Yeah. All right, that is the draft order for the Mills League. We're going to move on to, we'll do the Mentor and the Slackers last. All right, next is Rucker League, the Commissions League.
Yeah.
Number 1 pick, Fantasy Killer. Well, that just sounds like they came to play, right? Mm-hmm. Number 2, second round pick, and we are doing the Rucker League, the Fig Newtons. That's my brother-in-law.
Yeah, he sounds like a fruit and a cake there or something.
Oh, come on. I think I would. The Fig Newtons from the Camden.
That's already trash.
No, it's the other one. It's Kimberly's boyfriend. Well, I could have said my sister's boyfriend, well.
I got you.
But my brother-in-law. One of our favorites. One of the most wonderful people on YouTube and in the football world with the 3rd pick in the 2014 C3 Fantasy Rucker League Draft, 13 Degrees of Kelvin Benjamin. My Sharona.
There you go.
Nice. Our very own Miss NFL herself.
That is. All right, number 4 goes to, I don't even know, wrote it on the back, Coney Island. Well played.
That's
You gotta love fantasy football. It pushes you to levels of the limits of cleverness, right?
Yes.
I like this one a lot. The 5th round pick in the Rucker League, Ron, top of the world.
Oh, very nice.
I like that one a lot. Number 6, Knights of Camelot. Better than M. Night Shyamalan. Gosh, M. Night Shyamalan's terrible. He's the worst movie maker ever.
No way. Signs
Yes.
was a great movie.
No. Signs was horrible.
Signs was great. The Village was excellent.
Okay. Yeah, both of those are great if you're an alien who's allergic to water that invades a planet that is 76% or 90%, whatever we are, water, right? Like, what was the general that drew up that game plan? That guy is fired. And number 2, The Village was racist.
What?
Yeah, there was no black people.
Well,
there were no immigrants. There were no minorities.
There was minorities.
They left the world to get away from the bad, and they forgot all the minorities.
Well, that's because the minorities are the bad ones. We all know that.
You are a minority. Okay, from the bad horse's mouth himself, number 7, Carolina Rifles. That I thought was going to be your team, Joey. It'd be like the NRA of our fantasy football league.
I think that's Ken.
That's me.
Oh, you're the Carolina Rifles?
Yep.
He is the NRA card-toting commissioner, number 7 pick, Carolina Rifles. Pulling the trigger. Number 8 goes to the Cardiac Cats.
I know who that is. That's my good friend Mike from Andolini's Pizzeria here in Charleston.
Never heard that one before. I've never heard this one before because I'm pretty sure I heard it in the last league. Number 9 pick of the Rucker League goes to the never original Catch Me If You Can.
It is creative.
Yeah. Number 10, Chive On. Okay.
So does the empty space automatically get the last spot?
Yes. And we found out that one person had pullouts because he was in a league twice. I just talked to him, but his name was New England Drafter, so I got to look at the email more. This is my favorite, and this is my sister-in-law. And she really is my sister-in-law, so she's not like one of those ones that I said it to be short and like not explain a long story. Camming for you.
Well, she's going to get photobombed when she plays me, that's for sure.
Oh, Lord.
You've got to pay her $40 an hour. All right, that was the 11th pick in the 2014 Rucker League Draft. Camming for you, coming to a stage near you. All right, here it comes. The Moose League. Masim Muhammad, my guy, the great Masim Muhammad. First round, first pick at Aiden's. It's at Aiden Drake's dad. Brad Hayes, I believe, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Brad Hayes, welcome, sir. You are the Cam Newton of your league.
And you get to wait a year and a half for your second pick.
Yeah, but imagine how long you got to wait for your 3rd and 4th picks if you're 11th or 12th. Like an eternity.
Actually, longest waits when you're in the middle because equal distance. But
I don't mind the back-to-back pick, but
yeah, I mean it helps you strategize. That's for sure. You don't have to worry about somebody not being there.
Well, I think Aaron's excited about his pick. Panther Drafter is pretty happy, it seems.
Yeah.
Why? Is he texting you?
Yes.
I haven't checked Twitter to see if anybody. Let me look real quick. Okay, so I don't know what this one is. Oh, I get it. Set the bar.
What?
Like, it's like someone from New England trying to say Star set the bar.
Star set the bar.
Yeah, because they can't pronounce the I's.
Right. Go park the car.
Yeah, it's like khakis here are a pair of pants. Up there, it's a set of things that you put in an ignition of a vehicle to make it go.
Khakis.
I was at a bar one time, guys. I was at this awesome bar, hole-in-the-wall place in Salem, Massachusetts for a wedding. And two wonderful things happened to me at this bar. I walk into where the band was playing. I've been there all night, and the band was in a separate room. I walk in there, fellas, and there is a damn Wicca band playing in Salem, Massachusetts.
Unbelievable.
A damn witch band is playing in the witch town of America. I loved it. And the second thing is I met some dude with a UNC Chapel Hill hat on. I was like, that's kind of strange. He's like, yeah, this is a hat my gang wears. And I was like, all right, nice powder blues. And he also said we can't pronounce the Oz. All right, number 3 goes to I'm Ron Burgundy.
Cool. Hey, just so you know, Aaron, Panthers drafter, he told me that Rusty Nail is a drink that has scotch in it.
Okay. Still.
That certainly clears that up.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's still the relation straight to the Panthers. I got it. I guess you had to drink a lot of scotch after last night's game.
I guess so.
Number 4 pick in the league goes to Moose League, and I thought that yeah, that's right. New England Panthers fan. And if that's not right, you're now in the Moose League.
And you have first pick.
No, 4th.
4th pick, I'm sorry.
If not, we'll put you in mentor, and the worst that can happen is you're number 9. All right, number 5 pick goes to Buzz City Beast Mode. Like that. Bringing back the buzz. Number 6, big time. And I'm not putting these up till Monday. I'm going to make everybody listen to this show. Oh, I thought, it says Homie the Clown. I thought it almost, Homie the Clownies. Homie the Clown. I thought I said Horny the Clown. Because that's what I think of when I see
at your child's birthday party.
Homie the Clown with the apostrophe.
That is exactly who's at your kid's birthday party, because the only person that dresses up like a clown is totally
Chester.
Horny the Clowny. Number 7 pick goes to another prolific. Number 8 we are in the Muslim Muhammad League. Give a shout out to it is Wild Wings Cafe.
Wild Wings Cafe, that's right.
Hopefully our shirt is flying high for the 8th round pick, Carolina Punishers in the 2014 draft. All right, we're getting there, fellas. The Beach Bum Brawlers with the number 9 pick. I wonder if that is Susan from Myrtle Beach.
Oh, I wonder.
Number 9 is Toldozer.
Tolbert.
Well, you didn't see him at all last night. That thing must have had a must have been leaking oil or something.
No, they know what he can do. No.
This is my future brother-in-law. I Am Your Father is the name of his football team. Number 10 in the 2014 draft goes to I Am Your Father of the Masih Muhammad League. La 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 Luke, I am your father. Okay, number 11, Kraken Skulls.
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. One down, one left. One left. Let me just check, make sure I got the Mentor League. Look, my wife, I got like the best wife. She wrote out all these little slips for me today because she knows my handwriting's terrible. Imagine what Horny the Clown would have been then. And then she put these little labels on the bowl, so there's no mistake tonight, folks.
Wow, she is money.
This is a professional setup we got going on here. The number 1 pick in the Mentor League, the League of Slackers, is Carolina Cowboys.
Wow, that name just hurts.
I know. I hope your number 1 pick gets injured. Oh, sorry. My bad. Either this is a Pirate fan or we speak in the same language. Number 2 pick, Black Booty. The number 3 pick.
Reserve judgment until I see the logo.
In the Mentor League. Oh, man, with all the crap going on Twitter, man, I mean, in my Twitter line, good Lord, I cannot leave it up at work. Like, if I put that on the desktop and, like, walk away, I get fired with crap people put on Twitter. God, I mean, it is like, I mean, come on, folks. I mean, I will look at a Black Booty whenever that thing pops up, but I'm not retweeting the mess. You can get people fired from their jobs.
Really?
Greensboro Grey Wolves has the 3rd pick in the Mentor League. Number 4. That's
Aaron's brother, Greensboro Grey Wolves.
Well, just to follow that up with a good name, Smooth Peanut Butter.
Oh, it's Carolina Cowboy. I'm sorry, is Aaron's brother.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, thanks, Aaron. I hope that he's a Panthers fan that just so happens to wear a cowboy hat to work or something, or maybe he likes rodeo.
He rustles cattle for a living.
They're grass-fed in North Carolina. This is the number 5 pick, 4J Hustle. Number 6. I like this, even though you're in the lazy league.
Slacker. Yeah.
You're in the lazy league. This was the first person to sign up in the lazy league, and they email me and they go, "Is something wrong? There is nobody in there." And I was like, "Oh God!" I was like, "Well, you're the first guy," but still, she is not the lazy one in this league, and her name reflects it. The not so lazy Susans. That's the one I thought was the beach bum.
Oh, that's in Myrtle Beach? Okay.
Yeah. Number 7th round pick, Boom Shakalaka.
That would be my brother-in-law.
Okay.
So he's picking 7?
He's picking 7 in the Mentor League. This is my favorite name. I will donate to this cause right here. Free Gordon. I think this man has been unfairly punished.
Yeah, Joey, I'm sorry, refresh my memory on who I drafted 11th round in your league last year.
Free Gordon?
Yeah.
14-team PPR, and he was sitting there.
All right, number 9, and the last pick for right now, because the rest will be auto-signed. Their picks based on the order that they sign up for the league.
So sign up soon.
Yeah, because if you sign up next, you happen to be the 10th pick. But the number 9 pick in the 2014 Mentor League draft is Giants killer.
I like it.
That is Eli Manning's team.
Yeah.
Well, it's suicidal.
That is Eli Manning, yes.
Yes. I mean, it's really Eli Manning is playing in our fantasy football league, and he named his team. It's his autobiography.
That's the title of his next book.
Yeah. How did that guy get so terrible?
I don't know what.
Has anybody seen him drafted even as a backup in fantasy football?
No.
I wouldn't even let him be my fantasy football water boy.
Right. Right.
I have been going on a radio show with one of my buddies, and, well, it's his radio show. He just happens to be a kid that I grew up with, and he's been nice enough to bring me on. And he likes the running back from the Giants.
The Liberty running back, the guy that came over from the Raiders.
It's not Strahan. It's something weird. Anyway, Aaron's mom's team, is that the Giants killer?
Rashad Jennings.
Rashad Jennings,
Yeah,
thank you.
That's it.
I told Clip that I was going to draft Rashad Jennings as my defensive player.
Well, he'll get you some points.
He'll get all those tackles he gets after those interceptions.
That's awesome.
So he is my defensive player, Rashad Jennings. All right, can you draft a quarterback for your defensive player?
I was going to say, man, if interceptions counted, pick sixes counted as touchdowns for the thrower, Matt Schaub would be a fantasy stud.
Number 1 pick.
The number 1 overall draft pick, not Jadeveon Clowney. All right, Joey, hold it up. Look, there's a big turnout for this moment right here for the autographed. Let me put the camera over to Joey's real quick. Give them a little view of that DeAngelo Williams helmet. Right? You paid the $34 for the helmet signed with number 34 with your 10% donation to breast cancer awareness or breast cancer research, actually. And the pick goes, the helmet is going to, drum roll, Jason Salter.
All right. Do we have an email on Jason?
I do. I can look it up real quick. It's in the Jason Salter. Let's see. Maybe I can just give out his Twitter handle real quick for everybody to. I got the spreadsheet here somewhere. Control F, Salter. Jason Salter. Let's see. At Jason. You're not going to believe this, folks. His Twitter handle is at Jason Salter.
All right.
At Jason Salter, folks. You are the winner of the inaugural C3 Fantasy Football Premium Draft Guide raffle. You get the helmet. That was
provided courtesy of.
Yes. Let's go ahead and get in there.
Courtesy of the Fan Zone Charleston for all your college, pro, any team. If they don't have it, they can get it. Sports memorabilia needs, Luke and the guys at the Fan Zone will take care of you. Download their app. You can visit them online. Give them a call. They will, whatever you need, they'll ship it to you. They are great. Customer service is priority number 1 with them.
Well, and actually a lot of that was also courtesy of C3 Fantasy Football because we purchased that one.
Well, that we did. Nevertheless.
But they are our sponsors, and they have been very, very generous, particularly the number 1 pick will get a Kelvin Benjamin jersey that is totally of their doing. I got one other thing I want to show you guys, and we'll call it a wrap. when we bought all the weekly prizes, since everybody is here, we bought the weekly prizes in advance, and I took the picture, and then I decided I'm going to keep all this stuff for myself. No.
I still have a T-shirt, so.
I know. I need your mailing address. My thing is that I took the football with me to training camp. And I got the football that was going to be a weekly prize, but now I've decided to purchase another weekly prize and give the football. I got to get my partner's permission right here and then make sure the commissioner doesn't veto it. I was thinking that could go to the second place overall with the money.
Really?
Yeah. Because there's a little drop off, and that's a big. You've walked a long road.
Tell them
who is on it.
Yes.
There is, starting with Greg Hardy, Luke Kuechly,
wow,
Thomas Davis, Graham Gano, AJ Klein, Tolbert, you can't see it hardly because it's signed in black. Graham Gano, who is at 76, 59, 56, 58, 70. I think that's about it. 14. Who's 14? Joe Webb. Joe Webb. So.
Well, since Graham Gano's a kicker, that brings the value down a little bit, but it's still pretty good.
Aaron says, at Panthers Raptor says that Salter is excited and very thankful.
Yeah.
That's good to hear.
Actually, let's go ahead and get Panther Drafter to vote. Are you okay with this being moved up in the prize ranks and then me throwing in another weekly prize? It's a nice football, dude.
It is. It is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
very good on display in somebody's desk, office, or mantle.
And how about this, Joey? Is that I almost kept it for myself and just bought another football. So.
And you would have been thoroughly within your right to do so, but you're such a team player, and you put our faithful followers first, Tony.
Mm-hmm. So he's kept it and just got another ball.
That's what the thought was. That was the very first thought, but I remembered. I said, come on. I think it would just mean a lot more to the first season that way. So, okay.
And we'll get more next year when we go.
Oh yeah, is that I've got 3 kids, dude. So I'm an autograph magnet. I just farm those kids out for autographs.
Get them old enough, and you can say, "Hey,
Aaron gives the thumbs up. Panthers Raptor gives a thumbs up.
So you go after Kuechly, you go after Hardy. You go after Thomas Davis, you go after Cam.
Yeah, that's right. Well, I got my kid to get a signed my Super Cam cape signed.
My Cam.
Yeah, I saw that. That was neat. That was really.
Yeah, it cost me $100.
The cape? Oh no, the signature.
Yeah, and you're like, wait a minute, Cam Newton charged you $100? No, my son charged me $100, or at least I had bribed him to work that hard, like a sweatshop laborer, for $100.
Like a Nike shoe manufacturing employee.
Yes, and I've had Joey blue boxed. Joey, you've been blue boxed for a little while.
An overseas shoe manufacturer employee. Yeah.
So Joey's mug has been on the screen for a long time again.
Which is fine.
Okay. All right. So last thoughts. Anything, guys?
Last thoughts. I told Ken, Tony, maybe you've heard it. You probably have. The first-string offense will be playing against the Steelers next week because Rivera said we need the reps. I think that's something to keep an eye on. The Steelers, I doubt we're going to see many of their first stringers, so it will probably look pretty effective. But if we don't, we do have cause for great concern.
Ken, what are your thoughts? Are you feeling good today after that open-handed beatdown we got last night?
Yeah, the thing is, and I looked into this years ago, so it's not any different. Preseason success or failure has no correlation to how you do in the regular season. Sure. In fact, if you look it up, I think that as far as the Patriots go, they didn't have a winning season at all in any of their Super Bowl years in the preseason.
Right.
And you know, it's too easy for fans to get caught up in winning and losing in the preseason when that is not the point. It's, you know, there's two things. One is to hone your craft. You know, like Rivera said, that's why the starters are playing next week, is they need to. And the other thing, which I think should be the main thing, is evaluating your first year and your younger talent coming in. Mm-hmm. You know, do they fit what we want to do? Can they play this game? You know,
last night they couldn't.
No, you're right about that.
Well, remember last night though, Burson showed himself. The kid from Wofford College. You know, he stood out.
King made a good catch.
He did.
King made a good catch. Yeah, I mean.
So you know that all rolls into the equation.
I don't know that it's the loss that upsets people. I don't think that's what it is. I know for me personally, it's just how we looked.
Yeah.
I could care less if we win or lose, as long as we look good when our first team is in there. But they look bad.
Yeah, they did.
They look bad.
And we need Cam. We need Cam to, whatever it is, just relax, man. I think people got to stop telling him what to do and just say, go play football, buddy.
Right.
Just go play football. Right. Don't act like it's just the same thing you've done your whole life. You threw those deep balls. I think he just needs that. He feels a lot of pressure right now, and it's undue. So Cam, you're going to be great. My last thought is this: check out the podcast Tuesday night, 10 o'clock. Check out Pirate Radio 1250, where I'll be showing up on Mondays to talk a little Panther C3 action NFL on the Sports Bar with my buddy Clip Brock. And for Pirate fans and Panther fans out there, be on the watch out for the Countdown to Justin Hardy page. It's up on the website, and we will be. I'm already started working on hopefully getting an interview with him. We haven't been shot down, so that's good news. Oh, one last thing too: the fan spotlight contest. The contestants, it's getting heated, folks.
It is.
And not in a bad way, in a very good way. There's a lot of good stories out there. I got a new poll up. All the old votes will be counted, and the new poll looks super sweet. So everybody go cast your vote for the fan spotlight. And that's it, guys. CarolinaCatChronicles.com. Joey, tell them where they can get at you on Twitter.
You can follow me on Twitter at Joe Riolano, and we do have a Week 1 meeting of the Carolina Panthers Fan Club of Charleston at Southside 17 Bar and Grill at Tanger Outlets, 4 o'clock for the game against the Bucks. There will be lots of good food, some tremendous drink specials, and they always provide great service. So please join us down there. We're going to have a very large time.
Ken, you've been active on Twitter a lot lately. Tell them how they can interact with you and tell you that the world is falling. The sky is falling.
Easy to find. I'm at Ken_Dye, D-Y-E. That's my Twitter handle. If you got anything to say Panther-wise or anything else, just hit me up and maybe we can have a chat.
He really enjoys hearing from liberals. He really does.
Well,
no, I talk to my mom enough. So.
I talked to my mom enough. Well, speaking of, the professor here, not today. I am certainly not the horny clown. It is the professor. Good Lord. All right, that's it. Carolina Cat Chronicles, guys. Check us out.